so she finally broke her silence. After days, maybe weeks of cold shoulders, one-word responses, and that painful distance you've been feeling, she's ready to talk. And here's where most men completely blow it. Let me tell you about Ryan. 3 weeks into the silent treatment from his girlfriend Sarah, she finally said those words. "We need to talk." Ryan's first instinct? Relief. Finally, he could explain himself, defend his actions, and get things back to normal. But here's the thing. That relief was about to become his biggest mistake. Because what Ryan did next is exactly what 99% of men do in this moment. And it's precisely why their relationships never recover. Listen, when a woman breaks her silence after pulling away, she's not just ready to hear your explanations. She's testing something far deeper. She's evaluating whether you've actually grown during that silence, or if you're still the same man who caused the problem in the first place. Most guys treat this moment like a courtroom. They come prepared with evidence, explanations, and justifications. They want to prove they were right, or at least not completely wrong. But that's not what she needs from you right now. Here's what's really happening in her mind. During that silence, she's been processing. She's been asking herself hard questions about the relationship, about you, about whether this is worth fighting for. And when she finally speaks, she's not looking for your defense case. She's looking for signs that you understand what really went wrong. The first thing most men get wrong is they make it about the incident. They focus on the specific argument, the misunderstanding, the thing that triggered the silence. But she's moved past that. She's thinking about patterns. She's thinking about whether you truly get why she shut down in the first place. Ryan made this exact mistake. When Sarah said, "We need to talk," he immediately launched into his explanation about the night he forgot their dinner plans. But Sarah wasn't thinking about that dinner anymore. She was thinking about all the times she felt unheard, unimportant, like she was competing with everything else in his life for his attention. So here's where the real power lies. When she breaks her silence, your response in those first few moments sets the tone for everything that follows. And most men waste this opportunity completely. Instead of rushing to explain yourself, try this. Acknowledge the silence first. Not with excuses, but with understanding. Something like, "I know these past few weeks have been difficult. I'm grateful you're willing to talk with me." Notice what that does? It shows you recognize the weight of what happened. It shows respect for her process. And it positions you as someone who's been thinking, not just waiting for your chance to defend yourself. But here's the deeper layer most men miss entirely. When a woman goes silent and then breaks that silence, she's essentially saying, "I need to see if you're capable of real change." She's not interested in promises or explanations about why you did what you did. She wants to see evidence that you understand who you need to become. This is where emotional intelligence becomes everything. She needs to feel that you've used this time for reflection, not just frustration, that you've been asking yourself hard questions about your behavior, your priorities, your patterns. Let me give you the framework that actually works. When she's ready to talk, lead with validation. "I can see that I hurt you, and I've been thinking about why that happened." Not excuses about your intentions, but acknowledgement of impact. Then, and this is crucial, ask questions instead of giving answers. "Help me understand what you needed from me that I wasn't giving. What would it look like for you to feel truly heard in our relationship?" These questions show you're not just trying to get back to normal, you're trying to build something better. Here's what Ryan should have done. When Sarah said, "We need to talk," instead of explaining about the forgotten dinner, he could have said, "Sarah, I know I've been falling short as a partner. These past few weeks have shown me how much I was taking you for granted. I want to understand what needs to change." That response would have changed everything, because it shows growth. It shows he used the silence for self-reflection instead of just waiting for his chance to be right. But there's an even deeper level to this. Most men don't realize that when she breaks her silence, she's also testing your emotional strength. Can you handle her disappointment without becoming defensive? Can you sit with her pain without rushing to fix it or explain it away? This is where masculine strength actually matters. Not the kind that needs to be right or in control, but the kind that can hold space for difficult emotions without crumbling or fighting back. The truth is, she doesn't want you to grovel or beg. She wants to see that you're strong enough to face the truth about your relationship patterns, mature enough to own your part, and wise enough to focus on solutions rather than excuses. Here's your power move. When she breaks her silence, respond with curiosity instead of defensiveness, with questions instead of answers, with acknowledgement instead of justification. Because here's what she's really asking. Are you the kind of man who can grow from this? Are you someone who learns from pain instead of just avoiding it? Can I trust you with my heart again? Most men fail this test because they're still thinking about the incident. But she's thinking about the future. She's asking herself whether you're capable of becoming the partner she needs, or if this is just going to happen again in 6 months. So when she finally speaks, listen like your relationship depends on it, because it does. Show her that the silence wasn't wasted on you. Show her that you've been doing the work, asking the hard questions, and that you're ready to build something stronger together. That's how you turn her broken silence into a new beginning. That's how you prove you're not part of the 99% who get this wrong. The choice is yours.